Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time, we're going to go over to the Intellectualist, and then this is about a racketeering law used against organized crime now shapes the only major criminal case still pending against President Trump. Following the removal of Fannie Wells, a state agency chief now controls more than 100 boxes in a multi bilateral evidence achieve, leaving the lone criminal case against a sitting president in doubt. The writer of the article is the Intellectualist. President Donald Trump now faces a racketeering case in Georgia that accuses him of taking part in an organized effort to overturn the state's 2020 election results. An application of Georgia's RICO law, the law analyst says, has no precedent for a sitting president. Georgia's racketeering law, modeled on the federal statute but interpreted more broadly by state courts, underpins the indictment filed in 2023 by the Fulton County District Attorney. The law allows prosecutors to link a series of related actions into a single case, and it forms the structure of the charge against Mr. Trump. The indictment describes several actions that prosecutors say were taken to try to reverse Georgia's certified 2020 results. One is the January 2nd, 2021 phone call in which Mr. Trump urged Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find enough votes to change the outcome, a call recorded and published by the Washington Post. Prosecutors also cite efforts by Trump allies to assemble an alternate slate of presidential electors, an episode detailed both in the indictment and in reporting by the Associated Press and other national outlets. Two Fulton County election workers, Ruby Freeman and Shane Moss, told investigators and later testified to Congress that they received threats after false allegations about their conduct spread widely. The indictment also points to an unauthorized breach of voting equipment in Coffee County in January 2021. In the indictment, individuals accessed election systems and copied software. The episode was described in the indictment, examined in state records, and covered by multiple Georgia news organizations. The case changed course when Fannie T. Wells, the Fulton County District Attorney who brought the charges, was removed. In December of 2024, the Georgia Court of Appeals ruled that her relationship with a special prosecutor she had hired created the appearance of a conflict of interest. 9 months later, in September 2025, the Georgia Supreme Court declined to review the decision, as reported by The Guardian and The Washington Post, leaving her disqualification in place. With Miss Wells removed, the case briefly had no prosecutor. Judge Scott McPhee set deadlines to name a replacement to prevent the case from being dismissed for lack of action. According to the coverage by PBS NewsHour, ABC News, Fox 5 Atlanta, and CBS Atlanta, several district attorneys declined to take on the role before Peter J. Let me get his name right. Skandalakis, the executive director of the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia, agreed to assume responsibility. In filings described by the Associated Press and the Wall Street Journal on November 14, 2025, Mr. Skandalakis said he had received more than 100 boxes of documents, along with a substantial volume of digital evidence, compiled by the previous team, underscoring the scale of the investigation. Meanwhile, Mr. Trump's legal exposure everywhere has narrowed. The Justice Department moved to dismiss its federal election interference case, citing long-standing department policies that bars prosecuting a sitting president, a policy laid out in Office of Legal Counsel memoranda and noted by the Supreme Court in its immunity ruling earlier in the year. The federal classified documents case also ended after the presiding judge dismissed the indictment on grounds related to a special counsel's appointment. Prosecutors closed the rest of the case following the 2024 election. In New York's in New York, an appeals court later threw out nearly $500 million in civil penalties from a fraud judgment, but left the finding of liability intact. According to the National reporting, Mr. Trump is also appealing his conviction on 34 felony counts involving falsifying business records and seeking further review of the $38.3 million civil defamation judgment awarded by writer E. Jean Carroll. With the federal cases dismissed or paused in the New York criminal court matter now in the appeals process, the Georgia indictment now stands as the only major prosecution still pending at the third court level against Mr. Trump. Legal analysts note that no court has directly addressed how a state criminal case should proceed against a sitting president, a gap heightened in academic writing and in coverage of the Georgia proceedings. For now, the future of the case rests with Mr. Scandalakis and with the courts, which must confront constitutional questions that have not yet been tested before. Those issues remain open, and the next step will be shaped by ongoing filings and judicial oversight. Now, they do have a whole bunch of reference articles and things of that nature, which I will definitely link in the description as far as references is if you want to go and check that out yourself. However, we have come to this point of, I guess, the presidency where any substantial, legitimate prosecutions of Donald Trump, his administration at this time is not going to go through. Any smart prosecutor, and I have no legal background, but this is just basically solely based off of my opinion and how I would see or proceed going forward with these cases or whatever the cases are. So, depending on the cases, if they were, dismissed with prejudice or without prejudice, who knows? If they are dismissed with prejudices, there's no way, I don't think that they could retry the case. If it's dismissed without prejudice, they may have another shot at actually going to and going through with the whole process again, I guess, from scratch. But again, I'm not a legal expert. However, in terms of any case that's going to be brought or should be brought against President Donald Trump, my opinion would be the best thing to do is to gather the evidence and hold the evidence, if possible. Don't, I wouldn't even particularly broadcast it. What has been obtained, what has been seen, what has been recorded, any of that. This it would seriously be a waiting game in terms of digging into the law, seeing what law would benefit the case going forward. However, it's always good to double check, even if you are a seasoned prosecutor or not, and just hold on to the evidence until such time he is therefore impeached, or he is 25th Amendment, or he finally reaches his term and no longer can become president again. Um, that seems to be, in my opinion, the most doable thing that you can do, because anything that's going to be put through the court system right now at this time, I don't think it has a shot in the dark to come to light. I don't think it's going to be a gleam to come, to a brightness to it. I just feel that this system currently, as it stands, and currently who's in power and the administration that's behind him, is going to do everything in their power, including Congress, is going to do everything in their power to ensure that no real judgment can be carried out, or no real, him being able to actually be brought to justice and stand in the court and defend himself, and it be fair and free. I just don't see that being a thing right now. So now would be a good time, between now and the next election, major election for president, or whenever his term ends. I believe it's January the 20th. 3 and a half, some year from now. Uh, just hold that, sit on that, cuff that, and just build your case. And make sure that you build a case that would be undeniable. There will be no way to absolutely, be able to deny the allegations that's brought against him. And one of the winning things that the prosecutors may have, anyone that's seeking to have a case against Trump in the near future, is that he has done a wonderful job at screwing up. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. He has done a wonderful job at screwing up. He has done a wonderful job of breaking promises to his constituents, and being exposed for a lot of things that people thought that they had a handle on. And some people feel betrayed by that, and hopefully that will inspire people to um, at least seek some type of justice in the way that it will serve the American people, not self-serving, but serve the American people and bring justice and answers to questions that the American people are entitled to. I firmly believe that, we live in a country where our government answers to us. We don't answer to our government. you know um Regardless if your position is you want a big government, or you don't want, you want government to be less involved in the people's lives. Regardless, at the end of the day, the people should not be afraid of their government. The government should be afraid of its people, and rightfully so, because we are the people that put them in office. We are the people that select them. We are the people that allow them to have their freedoms. They are nothing but, in essence, a representation of the people, and we need to remember that. But I don't know, you guys. Tell me what you think. Drop down in the comment section. Again, this is from the Substack, The Intellectualist. I will list the article writer and all of the details for this Substack in my description, along with all of the references. There's quite a good number of them. And, you know, drop down in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this. What's your opinion, your views? Did I get something wrong? Please keep in mind that I have no law background whatsoever. So please, if you're practicing law, you're going, or you think you might be going, or whatever, please take it easy on me. I have no background in it, but Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And thank you so much. I do appreciate you watching my videos. As always, it's truly heartwarming to see people watch my videos, like my videos, and even comment. I am appreciative of it all. But until then, you guys, I will get with you in the next one. So watch out for that.